Hello, and welcome to another stream of Pokemon Legends Arceus Live. My name is Ectric, and we're here in yet another stream where we will be shiny hunting. But this time, it's not going to just be shiny Eevee we're looking for. We finally got the shiny Eevee after over 2.5 years, and we are now able to hunt other things. Obviously, if there's nothing showing looks good, we'll go for the Eevee loop. But we do not have to go for it, which is awesome. But thank you so much for joining, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful day. If you have not yet liked the stream and subscribed to the channel, consider doing so you can catch every single one of these as they come out. Regardless, though, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And apologies for such a long hiatus of from streams. I did a New York City trip, and then on Sunday night I got back and I was really tired, so didn't really feel up to it. And then yesterday I was planning on streaming, but then I ended up cooking until like 12:30 in the morning. So it ended up being too late to start a stream. So unfortunately, I had to not stream last night because it was gonna be too late. So we are here today though, and we're gonna be doing some shiny hunting. So should be a time. Should be a good time. I need to relearn how to speak. Apparently, it's been 5 whole days since I've talked in front of a camera, and apparently that was too much. But hopefully everyone's having a wonderful week so far. I actually worked from home today because tomorrow is usually the day I will work from home, but we had a new hire come in somewhat recently, and we're doing like a welcome lunch tomorrow. So I'm going into the office so that I can do that, and I wanted to still work from home at least one day this week. And Thursday, I'm going to be going during my lunch break to get a real ID from the DMV. So couldn't be Thursday, couldn't be Wednesday, went with Tuesday. But yeah, that is the plan. And it was nice to not have to go into the office today. I got some work done. I got some cooking done. Overall, a productive day. And then I had a meeting at 10 p.m. tonight. So that is why stream started later. Otherwise, I would have started it earlier. Anyway, so far we haven't really found much of anything aside from the Eevee loops. So it really hasn't felt much different than the last however many streams. But eventually we will get some MMOs that have Pokemon that we need, and we will go for them instead. Because those are more likely to get a shiny than waiting around for shiny Eevee. Honestly, we never even got the shiny Eevee from the frickin' Eevee loop. We had to wait until an Eevee outbreak appeared randomly. Overall, Eevee loop not very productive. I mean, it's more productive than just entering and leaving immediately, but you know, the chances of getting a shiny Eevee there are very, very small. Ugh. Anyway, I should probably tell you a little bit about the trip because it was a good one. So we were going down to New York City, doing a bunch of fun stuff. We decided that we were going to drive down, or we were going to travel down on Friday, so we could have like the full weekend to do stuff, or at least as much of it as possible. So my train ended up getting into New York around like mid-afternoonish, and the guys I was going with, they were all coming from the south up to New York, and whereas I was coming from the north and going south to New York. Whoops, I need to go talk to my. But yeah, so we were having to meet in the middle kind of thing, and my train was like a one trip 4 hour train, whereas they were like driving up to a little bit more local area, and then just taking like one of the more common trains with a variable ticket. So I had to kind of like plan it out well in advance, whereas they could kind of be a little bit more flexible. So my train was getting in around like mid afternoon. So they were planning on leaving and getting to the train station, or getting to the same train station I was riding into around the same time as me. So they were like planning around my arrival time. So they planned it out really well. Their train was supposed to come in like 10 minutes after mine, so it was gonna be really a really short amount of time to wait and stuff like that, and I could just hit the bathroom and they were gonna be there. But I get a text halfway into my train ride, so 2 hours in, um, from one of my friends saying, "Hey, I just woke up." I Note, they were supposed to be, well on their way to getting to the train station for their like hour-long train ride, and they were like driving from like 2 hours away. So like they were supposed to have left like around the same time I did. It was about a 4-hour trip for them as well, just like some of it on the road. And so I get a text, "Hey, I just woke up. I'll be in around 6," which was hours away. And I was like, of course. So two of my buddies get there. One of them ends up uh, taking a much later train, and so so we were like, okay, I guess we can just like go to the hotel and just kind of explore around a little bit, um, and then wait for him to get here. So we end up hopping on the subway and like traveling on up and stuff like that to get to our hotel. We like get off at like an exit at a subway stop that's like a little bit farther away from the train station, from the hotel, than like the closest station, because we were on the wrong line. Because none of us have been to New York City in the past like decade or so. So none of us were like all that had all that much memory of what the subway system was like. So we all we just grabbed like the one that got like Google Maps told us was like generally pretty close. Um, and then we just walked the rest of the way. But we ended up exploring some of the like walking past like a bunch of really cool shops and stuff like that. So once we got to the hotel and we like dropped off our stuff, Axel, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining. Good to have you in. But yeah, once we dropped off our stuff at the hotel, we were like, let's just go explore around some of those shops that we saw. So we like walked around to the shops. There was one shop that had you found a shiny Wug Trio. Nice. Um, there was a shop that had not one, or that had like fans like this in the window. So I ended up getting not one but two. I unfortunately they're in another room, so I can't show them off to you. But I will show them off to you at some point on stream. But I got two more fans because I enjoy doing this motion specifically. And then we stopped at a pizza's place because I was like, while I'm in New York, I gotta have a slice of pizza. It's gotta happen at least once. I miss New Jersey, New York pizza so much. And I'm not going home without having at least one slice. So we stopped at a pizza place that was like selling like $1.50 pizza slices, and we were like, all right, let's just each get some slices. We're gonna eat a little bit, and then we'll wait for our friend to get in and actually have like dinner and stuff like that. So I ended up getting two slices and a soda. And they were pretty good. They were pretty good. They were not the best pizza I've ever had in my life, but they were quite good, and they were quite cheap. So we ended up doing that. We kind of just hung around, and then we decided to explore around some of the like parks and stuff like that were nearby. We ended up walking pretty close to Yankee Stadium. We ended up going all around and stuff like that, and then we were like, okay, we should probably head back and get back in time so that we can beat our friend to the hotel so that we can let him in and stuff like that, because we had the key cards and such. So we head back, he ended up making some sort of like wrong turn or something, so he was ended up being a little bit later than expected. Did I react to the Found a Shiny Wug trio? I don't know if I did. If I did, I apologize, and that's very very exciting. I legitimately cannot remember if I said out loud what I thought, which was really cool. Um, but yeah, so we ended up just kind of hanging out in the hotel, and tried out something that my wife has introduced me to recently, and I have an extremely strong emotional reaction to this. So she found this you or like Instagram channel that does something called like cryptic crosswords, which are basically it's like one sentence, or it's like a crossword clue, but and then like one word that's supposed to equal it, but the clue is like not straightforward whatsoever. So here I'll pull up today's because I have started doing them daily. But yes, they are you would the clue today was actually let's go back to I can't go back to previous ones. So today's clue is it was no stamp, problematic for him. And so you would think, oh, actually this is a really bad example because it actually is pretty straightforward, but I think one of the here I'll pull up the one that we were practicing because I texted it and stuff like that. Let's see, where is it? There it is. Page turning diary captures male peak of civilization, and the answer is 7 letters. Um, so the you would think, okay, what would be like a page turning diary, and stuff like that, and so you're like trying to think of it like logically, like something that makes sense. What you're supposed to do is say, uh, captures is an indicator that suggests that part of one word is within another word. Um, So, captures male would mean that male something is within um, male, or male is within something, like that kind of stupid shit. And page turning is an indicator for like flipping, reversing words or something like that. And so diary, if you have a page turning diary, that means that you would write it write it backwards as YRAID, um, and then captures male would mean that you would have like it's just like so incredibly like convoluted, and like you're like trying to like pull random letters from random words and like mixing them up and stuff like that. It's just so incredibly like uh over the top convoluted. um and I hate them because the person who she found that does it explains it like it's the most obvious thing in the world, where it's like, now your first thought might be the logical thing that I thought, but that's really stupid, and it's actually quite easy to solve this one, and you just have to think of this random BS. And I like for a while I just swore that he would get the answers and then make up stuff to go to the he would have the clue, he would have the answer, and he'd make up the logic for why it actually is correct. Um, and but now I've started figuring them out, and I hate myself for it. But like, Toronto, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for joining. Glad to have you in. But yeah, so all of that to say, these things they're called cryptic crosswords, and I am both absolutely obsessed with trying to solve them, and also pissed every single time I get it, and pissed every single time I don't get it, because either it was really stupid and convoluted, and like BS, or I'm starting to become one of them, and starting to understand it, and it's just like, why is it, why am I like this, why is this a thing, but also I want to do more. So, um, we I brought that up to my buddies, and we were all trying to solve them when the fourth friend came. Um, I'm new Brawl vid up. Nice, nice, nice. Uh, Sounds fun. As far as me recording Ocarina of Time Fire Temple completed, nice. It's been such a long time since I played that game. That was my third ever series on this channel, I think, or fourth, third or fourth. I can't remember which. How you doing? I watched you a few years ago on a different account. I was on your Discord a few days ago trying to figure out when you stream, but good to see you. Yeah, I'm doing good. I was on a trip to New York City, so I was on a bit of a hiatus, so that's why you didn't see anything about stream schedules or anything like that, because I was out and didn't have time to put together a visual. But um, I think I remember you coming in a while back. Um, it's something like Maple Leafs related. Someone came in a while back. I don't know if that was you, but I have sub goals now. Nice. What is the current goal? 300? 400? 40,000? One of those three. All right, we'll go over here. Most likely, yeah, yeah. I remember a Maple Leafs related username at some point, so I remember you. Assuming that was you. Uh, it's it is theoretically possible more than one Maple Leafs fan has joined in my chat before. It's possible there are two of you, but I like to think that it's just the one. Anyway, we ended up playing Hues and Cues. Once my fourth friend came in, we just played like games in the hotel. We played Hues and Cues and stuff like that. Um, and we were kind of tired from like all of the travel and stuff like that, and we knew we were gonna have full days the next 2 days, so we decided to just kind of play it a little bit calm and quiet the first night. So we played some board games, some card games. Then none of us were really that hungry, so we ended up going and grabbing dinner around like 9 o'clock. And we found this like chicken and yororo place right by the hotel. That was absolutely freaking delicious. Probably the best chicken sandwich I've had in my life. Um, and the euro was also really, really good. 665 subs now. Dang. GG's. I was off. I apologize. 700 is reached. I'll make videos of Ocarina of Time's Master Quest dungeons. Ooh, nice. So you're shiny hunting for what Pokemon? Any that I need for the shiny living dex. For a while, I was hunting for shiny Eevee, but last stream I got one. So obviously I need more to get like the rest of the evolutions and stuff like that. And I had one, so I'm at 2 now. But I am hopefully going to give myself a little bit of a break to be able to hunt other things that are not a Pokemon that doesn't spawn nearly enough in this game. But yeah, we ended up getting some really, really good food. I got a chicken gyro and a chicken sandwich. And then one of my buddies just was like, let's also get some apps from Applebee's, and ordered like almost every single app from Applebee's in one order, including on top of like all of us ordering like our own full meals. So I had my sandwich and my gyro and a small side of mac and cheese, which was also quite good. And then um, the frickin' Applebee's order comes in, and there's nachos. There's a sampler platter that includes mozzarella sticks and quesadillas and buffalo chicken bites. Or sorry, barbecue chicken bites. There is wonton tacos. There's chips and spinach artichoke dip. But like I think he almost legitimately bought every single appetizer that Applebee's serves, and we're like, what are we gonna do with all this food? So I had a little bit. I had some of the ones that were like more interesting to me, but we ended up having to like chuck some of the food because we just had too much. It sucked. Sounds like yeah, the blast in New York. Oh, for sure, for sure. I don't do that much shiny hunting, but I play Pokemon Sword and I've found a few shinies in my days. Nice. That's awesome. Sword and Shield is a fun one to shiny hunt in. I was doing Masuda hunts in that for a while, and then Fletchling ruined it for me. But yeah, this game is probably my favorite to shiny hunt in, just because like the odds are good enough that like the it's not like so good that it's like not exciting to get a shiny, but it's also like not so infrequent that I have to spend like 12 streams to get one shiny. Like there's a counter because it's expected that I get at least one shiny in a stream. Granted, it's not like guaranteed, obviously, but yeah. So this game, I like the shiny odds in this game, and I also like that it's like a little bit more of like a limited Pokédex, and you know it's very self-contained. It's a single version. There's not like trading between versions that I have to deal with or anything like that. It's just all of the Pokemon can be obtained in this game except for the ones that are shiny locked, which are basically just the legendaries. So the plan is to get a shiny living dex only by catching it in this game. I can't like transfer over from a different game. Fletchling was actually my first shiny in Violet. Nice. I was Masuda hunting it with eggs, and it took 4 times over odds for me to get it. I was in like the top 1%, uh, or the top 1% of longest shiny hunts you would expect, uh, based on the odds that I had for that. And it took a while. But yeah, getting back to the New York trip. The food was really good. We ended up playing some Anomia, which is a fun card game where you like have a card. You each play like cards in front of you that have like a symbol and like a topic. For example, like fruit or types of fruits, um, or mute guitarists, famous guitarists, or something like that. And if your shapes end up matching in front of you, you have to race to give an answer that is part of the other person whose shape matches with you, their topic before they give one of your topic. And whoever says it first gets to take the card of the other person, and then they now have a new symbol that could also match and stuff like that. So it's like a quick pace, like think of an answer to a topic type of thing. It's quite fun. So we played that a bunch. Then we went to bed. That was a good time. Couldn't imagine how long that took. I don't remember. It was definitely like months and months though. So, granted, I wasn't streaming it every single time, but I was streaming it often. Uh, it probably took like 10 to 15 streams. If I was getting like 200 eggs, yeah, it was probably like 10 or 11 streams if I had to guess. Kirsten, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for joining. But yeah, that was Friday. Then Saturday, woke up pretty early, got some breakfast. Then we went over to the Bronx Zoo. Got some really fun pictures. Took the monorail. We unfortunately, by the time we were like getting to like all of the exhibits, it was like getting towards like noonish. Uh, it was like like late morning to noon, which was hottest part of the day, and all of the animals were like taking midday naps by that point, so we didn't really get a ton of amazing pictures on the monorail, but we did get some good pictures of like um, it was like a lemur type animal. We got some fun pictures of the gorillas. um, the giraffes were really cool. Got to see some zebras, so it was really fun to see, and it was also really cool how much it made you forget that this was like literally in the middle of New York City. Like they had so much like foliage surrounding the edge of the park that it like made you forget that you're in the middle of like one of the most urban areas in the world. Um, Tigers are my fave. We On the monorail we tried to see a tiger, but unfortunately it was taking a nap right behind a bush, so we only got like a couple of small flashes of orange as we saw it like through the leaves of the bush. But we did not get to see a great picture, a great view of the tiger. Unfortunately, I was a little disappointed because I also really like tigers. Tigers are cool. But yeah, so that was the Bronx Zoo was actually really cool. All things can, even setting aside the fact that some of the animals were sleepy. And then we went over to the Yankees Red Sox game because the Red Sox were in town, and we wanted to go see a baseball game. This was my first time at Yankee Stadium, and living up in the greater Boston area, I suppose. We I had to pull for the local team, and also more importantly root against the Yankees. And luckily for me, um, the possibly the best showcase of offense I've seen in a while came from the Red Sox, and they beat them 12-1. It was awesome. I mean, they it was like two. We ended up getting there a little bit late, and it was like almost the third inning by the time we got to our seats and everything. And they, uh, like right as we were sitting down, they scored like 2 runs to go to 2-0, and then um, over the next few innings, they went up 3-0, and then 4-0, and then five, and then the Yankees got like one home run, and then it was like 5-1, and then they went into the ninth inning, and the Yankees fell apart. Why did I go here? Why did I go here? Why was it? I'm not paying enough attention. Why did I go here? I'm so confused. But yeah, Yankees completely fell apart, let up 7 runs in the ninth inning, and I got to watch an absolute masterclass of just offense, constant offense from the Red Sox, multiple hits, multiple home runs, batted in and stuff like that. It was just so much fun. Um, the only problems I had with the game were, first of all, our seats were pretty awesome. They were right in the really short right field fence, but we were on like the top level, so it was right in the sun the entire game, and it was like 85, 90 degrees. So we were in the like beating hot sun the whole game, and it was just really, really hot. I got really lucky. One of my buddies happened to bring sunscreen with him because otherwise I would have been roasted. Um, it was bad. Got very lucky that he brought some good sunscreen with him just on a whim. Um, and so yeah, we threw that on, but it was like really warm, and eventually I finally was like, all right, I'm gonna go get myself a drink and a hot dog because baseball game, gotta go get a hot dog, right? So I went to go get a hot dog and a drink, and immediately getting into the shade, I was like, oh my god, this is so much nicer. I almost didn't want to go back to my seat because it was just like so much cooler. um, but I ended up going and grabbing a drink real quick, and then I went and got in line for a hot dog. They ran out of hot dogs. What kind of ballpark runs out of hot dogs? This is like an American that might as well be in Russia. Like this is bull. Uh, by the way, please ignore my overly American aphorisms. I am being sarcastic, mostly. I was very upset that they didn't have hot dogs, but I was disappointed. So I will say, just for the sole fact that I didn't get a hot dog, Yankee Stadium, worst stadium I've been to. Uh, they had a really cool like uh, carrot like dry cleaner esque carousel for their jerseys that they were selling. They you know I got to see a really really good game for the team I was rooting for, um, and all those good things. Didn't get a hot dog. Awful. So Yeah, that was the Yankees game. Also, it was like right. It's weird, really interesting because it's like literally right in the middle of the city. Like, um, City Field, the Mets stadium, is like it's in New York City, but like it's like surrounded by like large parking lots and stuff like that, and it's like in its own section, like right off the highway and stuff like that. So it's almost like it's kind of like off to the side and not like integrated with the city all that much. Whereas Yankee Stadium, like literally, there's a train station that just lets you out like right in front of the building. There's like busy New York City streets that just go all along it. Like there is no barrier between Yankee Stadium and New York City. So it was kind of cool, but it was also like absolute travel nightmare getting around when the game was happening. My favorite chicken place sometimes runs out of strips during the college football games. Uh, See that? I mean, it makes some sense, especially if you're like in like a college town and stuff like that, where like, there you're gonna have like there's no reason for you to have that many chicken strips on a normal day because like you'll be wasting a crap ton of chicken. But like you're gonna have a ton of people that want chicken strips on like very specific days. Like I get that kind of problem. This is a professional professional baseball stadium that expects the same number of people for every event. This is not like a local restaurant that has to deal with a major influx of people infrequently. This is every single time there is a game, uh, we are going to have at most this many people, and at few probably like 70% of that many people. Like the Yankees are not struggling to get people into the stadium. They should have enough hot dogs. But I am sorry that you have to deal with no chicken strips because no one deserves that. Everyone deserves as many chicken strips as they want. And when I am elected president, I will make sure that every American has enough chicken strips for their liking. Ask not what you can do for your country. Ask what your country can give you in terms of chicken strips. Oh my goodness. But yeah, Yankees game was good. Then we traveled down, and one of my high school buddies actually lives like really like right in the center of the city. So we were I was traveling with like college buddies, but one of my high school buddies lives in the city, and he was like, "Hey, if you're around for dinner sometime, we can go grab something." And I was like, "Yeah, for sure." So I hit him up. He gave me like a huge list of recommended restaurants and stuff like that that were near his place. We ended up hitting up a Korean barbecue place, and it was delicious. It was a bit expensive, but it was delicious. Um, uh, I tried like everything. Most of it was very very good. Some of it I was like, it's fine, but I wouldn't like go out of my way to seek it out or anything like that. But like, it was quite tasty. Got some really good, grilled meats and stuff. Um, and then afterwards we went to a dessert shop like that was basically right next door. And I got myself a churro waffle with vanilla ice cream.
There's that fucking
Pseudo, welcome to
girl.
the stream, and Luigi as well. Good to have you in. My laptop broke. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Luigi. That sucks. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's very very stressful. Um I I've had a laptop die on me at work actually, not my personal laptop, but at work I had my work laptop just completely crap out, and it sucks. So my condolences. But yeah, you cannot hunt other shinies. Oh, my bad. You're building up all the starters for what? At least I have this tiny Chromebook to chat on. There you go. There you go. Silver linings. Or chrome linings in this case. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Bow. The churro waffle sounds good. It was. I thank you for putting me back on track. It is the possibly it's top two at worst.
I would love
Best
to get
churro.
slapped by the Bermuda Triangle and Transylvania. Me.
What? Is that from the vampire whatchamacallit? Vampire Dimension 20 series? I can't remember. But yeah, churro. Churro waffle. Churro waffle, top 2 churros I've ever had in my life. It was so freaking good. It was like the perfect amount of crispy on the outside, but it was like melted butter soft inside, and just so warm and delicious. It wasn't like over cinnamony. It wasn't like stale or anything like that. It was like so freaking good. And then the vanilla ice cream, I would have finished it, but earlier in the day when we were leaving the Bronx Zoo, a Mr. Softy truck just happened to be there, and we were like, we're kind of all thirsty and in need of refreshment, so I got myself a vanilla milkshake, which was quite good, but also I was like all ice creamed out, so I decided against completely finishing my ice cream to preserve a little bit of my bloatedness. But yeah, all of it was really, really good. And then after that, we ended up just kind of wandering around a little bit. Ended up going over to the Empire State Building and taking a picture of that. We didn't go in because we didn't have time, but we did go check it out real quick and take some pictures and such, which was cool. And then after that, we went over down to like the shore, and we did some a driving range, which was really, really cool. It was like literally right on the water. Like you were hitting it out, and there was like nets to block it from like going into the river. But you could like see it. It was like you could like you got the breeze and stuff like that. It was wonderful. So we went over there. We did a driving range that had like technology that was like able to read where it was going, so that it could give you like stats on how far you hit it and stuff like that. And we ended up just all taking turns, taking whacks at a golf ball. It was a lot of fun. I ended up actually, I think my best hit was like 220 yards, which was like really good for considering I've like done a driving range once before. Sounds good. It was really good. Oh, for 666 battles, I get it. Axe, that makes sense. I'm back. Sorry about that. No worries. You're all good. I had something similar recently. Yeah, it was really good. But yeah, so ended up doing that, the driving range, and then by that point we were like, okay, we gotta get back, because we had to be up at like a somewhat reasonable hour to be able to do the stuff we wanted to do the next day. So we went back to the hotel. We didn't like hit up. We saw when we were wandering around.
Did you set
dinner.
a PB on the driving range speed run?
Yeah, I guess I kind of did. My personal best was 221 yards, I think, which was kind of crazy actually. I was really proud of my hit, that hit, especially because it was like literally my like 5th shot. Like we decided we were gonna do it like 5 shots at a time each, and we I went last, and I just like first 4 shots I just was like shanking, barely was like barely hitting it. I got like 1 or 2 that were like I got a decent amount of power on, but like they like went way far left or way far right and stuff like that, or like I hit the ground and it just like only line drive straight into the ground or whatever. Like it was I was just like somewhat off. I was like not perfectly aligned, but then I realized I was like lined up behind the ball, so I was like hitting it at the wrong point in my like swing. So I just like moved 1 step forward, and then immediately just like perfect like contact with it, and it just went flying. I was like, whew, that felt good. And then I ended up being the only one that was like able to even somewhat consistently hit it like that. I think I had like a decent number that were like in the 190s, a couple that broke 200. So I like, it wasn't like a one shot thing, but like it was pretty cool. I was happy with it. The perfect stroke. Yeah, exactly. It was gorgeous. And I know that you're probably making a masturbation joke, but I'm going to take it completely on its face. And just ignore the joke and say yes, it was a perfect stroke. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun. We then went back to the hotel. On the way back, we walked by the chicken and gyro place again, and I was like, that chicken sandwich is really good. And I ate like 5 hours ago. I'm kind of hungry, so I ended up getting another chicken sandwich. I went back again for another one. It was so good. It was just as good the second time. But yeah, so got a chicken sandwich. We ended up playing another round of Anomia, and then we played a game called There's a Moose in the House, which is a fun little card game. We played that for a little bit, and then we went to bed. And then the next morning, woke up a little bit earlier because I had a train leaving at like 5. So we had to get all of our stuff done before my train had to leave. Chicken sandwich, yes, it was so good. It better than Chick-fil-A. 100% better than Chick-fil-A. Was delicious. It was like the perfect amount of crispy on the outside. The chicken was like extremely tender and juicy. And then it had like lettuce, it had pickles, it had onions, and it had like ketchup and mayo on it. And it was so good. And I think it might have also had like a little bit of like almost like a hot sauce or like a chipotle sauce on it. It was so good. There's no game audio? Well, that's annoying. Let me try real quick. Hold on. There it goes. Okay. You could taste the Southern fried intolerance. Well, this was in New York City. They were somewhat tolerant, I think. But yeah, it was so good. Anyway, next morning we wake up. If not, there is no way it's as good as Chick-fil-A. Oh, I see. Uh, that's what you're saying. That's what makes it good. I understand now. But yeah. So next morning, woke up a little bit earlier because we had a bunch of stuff to do. We went down and we checked out of the hotel. Went down to like Broadway, and dropped off our luggage at like a luggage storage place because we didn't want to be walking around with bags the whole time. And then we were originally planning on doing like some shopping and stuff like that, and then going to lunch. But first of all, we didn't get breakfast, so we were a little bit hungry. And second of all, we were like worried about the wait because we ended up going to, it's called the Stardust Diner. And this place is a diner right on Broadway that has aspiring Broadway actors as the servers, and they take turns performing, like singing like Broadway songs for the entire restaurant while they're serving you. Like some of them, like a lot of them will go like onto like this like stage area in the center of the restaurant and stuff like that. But like one guy literally was like serving a table like 2 down from us as he was singing. Literally singing and pouring coffee for someone at the same time. It's so cool. I was a freshman in high school, and I went on a school trip to Broadway to go see Sister Act on Broadway with my drama class, or my drama the drama production at the school. It was the only time we did that, I think. I don't know why it happened that one year and none of the other years, but it only happened that year. But we went to go see Sister Act, and before it, we went to the Stardust Diner for lunch. So I was like, I want to go there again. It's been like 15 years. It was awesome. I remember it being great. Went over there. So we went over there early, and it was really good because we only had to wait like 5-10 minutes in line, as opposed to the 45 it was projecting if we were to go for like lunchtime. And we got seated almost immediately. The food was quite good. We got some brunch food. It was very tasty. And then we just got to listen to some really awesome music. We got to hear like Uptown Funk. We got to hear "It's Not Unusual." That was the wrong key, but whatever. It's not unusual. That's the one. The Carlton song, and then most of the way through, my wedding song came on, and it was literally right after they announced like who's here for a birthday, who's here for an anniversary, who's here for a divorce. They were, that one was a joke, but like. But they like literally like just announced like all of the birthdays and anniversaries, and then my wedding song came on, which is "Can't Take My Eyes Off of You" by Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. And the guy who sang it was incredible. He was awesome. It was just so much fun. Got to listen to some good music. I had some French toast that was quite tasty, and then some fried eggs and bacon, which were also quite good. And we got in and out of there with time to spare, so it was great. Hash browns? Yeah, I did not get hash browns, unfortunately, but I did get some fried eggs and bacon and French toast, which was plenty. That's what I imagine your wedding song was? Complicated by Avril Lavigne? Funny enough, when my wife and I first started dating, I almost immediately went to college, and she was still in high school. So we, like 3 months after we started dating, became a long distance couple. And as my going away gift, she gave me like a CD of like music that like she thought of like our relationships and stuff like that. It was very, very thoughtful and sweet. And immediately, as soon as I started listening to it on my drive back, like she gave it to me as I was saying goodbye to her before heading off to college for the first time. And on the drive back, I was already like bawling. So, if you've ever seen 50 First Dates, it was like near the end of the movie when Drew Barrymore's dad gives Adam Sandler the Beach Boys CD, and he's on the boat, like bawling his eyes out while singing "Wouldn't it be nice if we were older?" And then he's like, "You sick bastard." But yeah, so it was like that. Bawling to "Complicated" by Avril Lavigne, wild. So it wasn't complicated, but it was "I Don't Like Your Girlfriend" was the song on there by Avril Lavigne that was on that CD, which was the point of that interlude. But yeah, so that was on there. Actually, funny enough, Beach Boys was on there as well, because my wife really likes Beach Boys. And it was "Wouldn't It Be Nice." I can't remember if that was because, I think it might have been. We had been hanging out in her parents' basement one time, and 50 First Dates came on the TV, and we kind of just like hung out and watched that all the way through. And then almost immediately after, it just started playing again, and we were like, we're still just hanging out here and talking and stuff like that. We ended up watching it twice in a row.
No way. No way. No way. No way.
Divorce party, let's go. But yeah, so we ended up watching 50 First Dates twice in a row. So that song ended up becoming part of it and stuff like that. I think it might have been before. That might have happened while I was in college. So I think it might have retroactively been even more important. But like, I think she just put that song on there because it was like, wouldn't it be nice to be together and stuff like that, like the sentiment rather than like the fact that it was a reference to the movie. But yeah, so that was on there. The first song was "More Than Words," which was the song, our last dance at our wedding. We did a thing where at the very end of the wedding, we had everyone else go outside like early, and then cleared the entire reception area of just us and the DJ and like the photographers, and we just did a dance just for ourselves to that song. And so we ended up that ended up being our last dance song. So a lot of the songs on this CD ended up becoming like important for our relationship. But Can't Take My Eyes Off You is our wedding song, and I played at the Stardust Diner, which was really cool. And I recorded like all the way through the first like chorus, and sent it to my wife and was like, what are the chances? And she was like, that's awesome. And I was like, yeah. But yeah, she grew up. Her mom is a huge Frankie Valli fan, so she grew up knowing it very well. And I grew up listening to Jersey Boys, the musical. Went to see it twice. It was my favorite musical for the longest time. Might still be. I don't know for sure. I have some other ones that I really like as well. But yeah, so Jersey Boys is really big. Was one of my favorite songs in that show. Yeah, I loved that song, and we ended up choosing it as our first dance song. So it was awesome. We also we choreographed our first dance a bit. So, like, first of all, it started off like with the slow part, just like doing like a slow dance with a couple like spins here and there and stuff like that, and we got cheers. And then when it got to like the fast part for the chorus and stuff like that, we actually like planned out like our like a whole like dance routine that involved like me spinning her around in the air and stuff like that, and you know, like choreographed moves and stuff like that, and got a lot of cheers and stuff like that. So it was really cool to do. And so a lot of good memories with that song, and it was a little emotional, to be honest, listening to it at the Stardust Diner. I was just like really happy to hear it. So anyway, we finished that up, and then we decided to go over to the Nintendo store of New York, which was really cool. And this is where we got some fun stuff. So first, you know, I really thought that this was going to be in view. I had this over on this side, but then I moved it over to that side because I thought it was going to be more in camera, but apparently I was covering the whole time. I got this, it's like a throw pillow of the heart from Breath of the Wild, or Tears of the Kingdom, one or the other. But yeah, so I got this throw pillow for my wife. Really, really cool. I'm going to switch it so that it's actually in camera. And Hogwarts can go behind me. So yeah, got that pillow, really cool. And then I was originally gonna get myself a Pikachu dressed as the Statue of Liberty, but the torch was a Litwick, and the book had unknown text on it. I thought it was really cool, but I thought that it really was like it was gonna fade into the background very quickly, and it was like. It's really cool, and it's a really cute idea and stuff like that, but like I don't, you know, live in New York or anything like that, so like the Statue of Liberty doesn't really have like that much of a like long-term connection to me, so I convinced myself out of buying it, and instead I got myself 2 hats. So one is Cappy from Odyssey. I got a Mario cap. Very happy with this one. Actually, it's not I don't know if it's technically Cappy. It's a Mario hat, whatever it is. It's a Mario hat. And then the other one I got, which it was a Dodo Airlines hat from Animal Crossing. So I got myself 2 hats. Was very happy with that. Very happy with that. And got to have some fun there. So I legitimately could have like spent $1,000 there if I had unlimited budget. There was so much fun stuff there, but I limited myself to one thing for my wife and like a couple of things for me. Isn't a baby Mario hat? I don't know for sure. It could be. I don't know. Again? Yeah, might as well. But yeah, so got the hats, got the throw pillow, and then we went to like a stuffed animal store that was like pretty close, and I saw a stuffed animal that looked a decent bit like Lola, and I was like, ooh, I could get a stuffed animal of Lola to match the like 4 that are up there in the corner. But it was $42, and I was like, I just couldn't justify it. I called my wife and was like, hey, so would you say that a stuffed animal that looks a decent bit like Lola, is that worth $42? And she's like, spend your money how you like. And I was like, that was not an animated enough reaction. I'm just gonna not get it, because I was like really waffling about it, and like if she was like really excited about the idea of having another Lola stuffed animal and stuff like that, I would have probably got splurged on it. But like the fact that she was like, yeah, sure, I don't really care, whatever you want, made me like, I don't want it that much. It was partially for her reaction, so I didn't end up getting it, but we did go there and see it and stuff like that. And then it was getting close to when we had to go to the show, so we ended up just kind of walking over to the theater, and we went and saw Hamilton, which was really cool. Pseudo, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Congratulations, 501st. You now have access to custom emotes, as well as the opportunity to create your own custom entrance theme whenever you join into streams. Congratulations, and thank you so much, Pseudo, for the donation. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that everyone gives some love in the chat for Pseudo. For Turkey Lipton. How is Lola doing, by the way? She's doing better. She's doing better. She had kennel cough after our trip to the wedding, because we had to put her in the kennel, but she has pretty much fully recovered at this point and is doing much, much better. So she is back to her old self, and just being cute as always. Thomas Jefferson Miku behind her. But yeah, so went to see Hamilton. It was freaking awesome. Like I have listened to that soundtrack so much. I listened to it a ton in college. Got really into it for a while. And it like I've seen the live recording on Disney Plus and stuff like that. Loved that as well. It's something else to see it in person. Really good. I was surprised that obviously, you know, it's been almost a decade since the show came out at this point, if not a decade. So, you know, obviously the original cast is long gone and stuff like that. But I was surprised by how similar a lot of the current actors sound to the original cast. Like, in terms of voices, like Jefferson, the guy who was playing Jefferson and Lafayette sounded like David Diggs. And the guy who played Hercules Mulligan and Madison sounded like the guy who played him in the original cast. Like they sounded so similar. The guy who played Hamilton reminded me a little bit of the original Lawrence, who I think eventually became the new Hamilton once Lin-Manuel Miranda left. But like, yeah, a lot of them sounded very similar. And I obviously, you know, you're gonna have the people who are like casting it, like looking for someone who like fits some sort of like idea of what they have for the character and stuff like that. But I wouldn't have placed a bet on them being so true to like recreating the original interpretations. I was surprised by how much they just sounded similar. Like they weren't doing impressions or anything like that. I think that they did their own interpretations and stuff like that, but like their voices sounded similar. They looked a little bit similar. Airjo, welcome to the stream. God damn, stick in the fucking ball. But yeah, so I thought that was really cool. I think that the guy who played Aaron Burr was awesome, and especially like they were all awesome. I couldn't complain about any of them. But the guy who played Aaron Burr specifically, I really loved how he played it. What's his name? Leslie Odom Jr. Was the original Aaron Burr, and I think he did an awesome job. I think it's what I think of when I think of the Aaron Burr character. But like he always played Aaron Burr as like very, very calm and giving nothing away until the very end, which is very true to the character and that is portrayed in the show and stuff like that. Like I think he did a great job, but I think the thing that this guy did that was slightly different was he did the similar thing of like he's, you know, constantly trying to be amenable and not give anything away, but is that the membership notification from like 5 minutes ago? Jesus. But yeah, so he did the same thing, but he played it so that you could tell beneath the surface there was like a seething rage, especially like specifically at like Hamilton and stuff like that. Like he played it so that you like on the surface he is just as calm and just as diplomatic and stuff like that, but you could tell underneath the surface for him it was like he was almost like gritting his teeth through it, like emotionally speaking. And I thought that was like such a cool interpretation of the character, and I really liked how that came out and how he played it, and like when he gets into like, you know, campaign mode and he's just like I'm gonna do anything and everything I can to get what I want in life and stuff like that. Like I think he just did an awesome job of like playing, yes, on the surface like the perfect gentleman stoic type of thing, but gave more of like a, you can see if you like scratch beneath the surface there's like so much emotion beneath it. Don't you already have Rotom? You don't have to deal with them anymore. I need all of the variants, unfortunately, so I need 5 more. Did Gilbert Gottfried sound just like Lin-Manuel as Hamilton? Should have called him Aaron Ouch, it's too hot, instead of Aaron Burr. Jesus. But yeah, I really liked that. Found out at the end of the, well, found out during intermission that the guy who was playing Hamilton for our show was actually the understudy, which was really cool because like I thought he did an absolutely stellar job. I thought he was incredible as Hamilton. Did some great, like I would not have been, if I had not seen in the playbill that it was, or like the little insert they put in the playbill that it was not the person who was listed as like the main Hamilton actor playing, I would not have for a second thought he was the understudy. He did an awesome job. But the thing that I think I found out at the end was that it was possibly like, if not one of his first times doing the character on Broadway. This was like one of the first times he had been called up to play Hamilton, because like when they got to like the curtain call and they all did their bows and stuff like that, at the end of the show Hamilton and Eliza are right next to each other, and as soon as the curtain came up and they went to go do their bows, she like patted his arm, and that like some of the other actors like started giving him like pats on the back and stuff like that, and it seemed like they were like saying, "Congratulations, kid, great job," and stuff like that, which like indicated to me like this was like a big deal, like this specific show was like a big deal for him, which was really cool. So yeah, it was really cool to see like that kind of camaraderie. And it was also like, it was like a stark difference because like, you know, the entire time Eliza is like one character, and like her being like the like giving almost like older sister energy to Hamilton was like such a stark difference to like, you know, doting wife slash like it, you know, it was interesting to see like as soon as the characters dropped, it was like such different interactions between these people. It was really cool to see. So yeah, I loved Hamilton. It was great. It was awesome to see all that good stuff. And what am I doing? I'm going to sleep. That's what I'm doing. But yeah, so it was really cool. Trying to think of anything else stood out that I wanted to mention. Oh, right. Jefferson. Thomas Jefferson in this show. It never comes across just how incredibly flamboyant he is. Like his first song at the beginning of the first act, or the second act rather.
I was in Hamilton in high school. Sorry, I misspoke. I was in How? Milton, an American classic about pranking and subsequently accidentally killing an elderly neighbor named Milton.
Jesus. got the hiccups now. Thanks. Long last of all fully evolved starters, including Hisuian forms, EV train for 6v6 single battles. Nice. But yeah, so the other thing was obviously Jefferson's first song in the beginning of the second act is like super duper over the top, like flamboyant, like outgoing, energetic, silly energy. Like it gives that energy, but like it doesn't really carry over to the soundtrack, and I think it honestly didn't really carry over as much to the official cast recording. Just how constant him being incredibly over the top, like cartoonish reactions to everything he is. And it's possible that the original Jefferson didn't do it as much as this guy did. It's possible this was a different interpretation, but it's also possible that, like, when you have the cast recording, almost all of this stuff was happening, like, off to the side, so it's very possible you just didn't get it on camera because it was, you know, happening off to the side and stuff like that, and you're not going to constantly have the camera on a person in the background just in case he does something funny. But Jefferson implies there's a Jefferson. Jesus Christ. I'm out, Ectric. All right, X. Thank you so much for joining. Have a good one. Thomas Jefferson was apparently very autistic in real life. I did not know that. But yeah, so he's just constantly, like, you know, anytime there's like things going on, like I'll give a couple examples. Like when he's like they're like finding out that about the Reynolds pamphlet and stuff like that. He like literally is just like you know, when he goes, damn, he like literally like does a spin around and like is like going like crazy, like over the top reaction. When at the end of the musical, when Hamilton endorses him over Burr, and he finally figures out that he's been endorsed, he like goes and then he starts doing like a dance with Madison, like it's just like every single second that they had the opportunity to, he was just constantly dancing and you know, facial expressions out the wazoo. It was so fun, and it does not come across in just the music alone. So I really loved that, and I loved the outfits in the second act because like the colors were so vibrant. Like Jefferson's wearing like this like burgundy purplish outfit that looks really, really cool. Hamilton wears like a bright forest green coat, and even frickin' Washington's outfit, which was just like a black suit from like the 1700s. It popped, and it's very possible it's just like a combination of like bright lights making the contrast more, and also the contrast from like the first act where all of the colors were like tans and very, very neutral colors, and like, you know, dark blues and stuff like that, to, you know, stark black, or, you know, vibrant green, vibrant purple, all that good stuff. Like it might have just been like the difference between like first act outfits versus second act outfits, but I just was like, whoa, this like really pops. It was really cool. He's a camp old cow. British panto vibes. Founding Fathers, they ate, they slayed, or was it slaves? Jesus. Yeah, but yeah, so it was incredible. It was a lot of fun. Loved it. Would definitely want to go again with my wife, because she loves the King George songs from Hamilton specifically, and she was like, when she found out I was going to see Hamilton, she was like really jealous, and was like, I can't believe you're gonna get to go see that, and I'm not gonna get to go with you. And I was like, I know, we'll go again, I promise. I would 1000% see it again. But yeah, so that was a lot of fun, and the King was hilarious. But we all knew that one. That one wasn't a surprise. He did a wonderful job. He's always incredibly funny, and, you know, it is really funny how infrequently he is actually in the show. Like, it's almost like a throwaway character in some respects, because like he doesn't really have that much of a bearing on the story itself. But like, damned if he isn't hilarious. Run away. Not even giving it a freaking chance. She's a monarchist? Yes, yes. She has been frequently mentioning how we should just go back to being British subjects, actually. Do I need this still? I can't remember if I need this still. No, I got Remoraid. That was the one that I got. I still need Garbage. Oh my god, hit it. There we go. How close were you? How much were the tickets? We were in literally like the back row. So we did not have like quote unquote amazing seats, but there's really not bad seats in the house. We were center stage, like right smack dab in the middle. So that was good. We weren't like way off to the side and in the back row, but like we were in like the back row of the mezzanine, I think it's called, right? Yeah, mezzanine. So we were pretty far back. But the tickets were still like almost $200. They were expensive. That was the reason we were way far back. Because like if you're trying to get like front row seats, they're like $400. More like King Gorgina Mama Yas God. It's keep this damage mechanic in PL in Zaha. They should make it an item. Maybe like one recharge per camp trip that can reset your damage to 0 without running away. Honestly, if they just got rid of the ability for the Pokemon to attack you while it is stunned, and for it's to for you to be able to not dodge things because it your ride Pokemon takes 5 seconds for it to register that you want it to run. Like if you get rid of those annoying things that make it harder to dodge, I'd be fine. What the heck is going on with my computer? Oh shoot, that's what's going on with my computer. I'm running something in the background. Or at least trying to. Alright, we're gonna exit out of that. There we go. Za's gonna be set in Paris. You know those Pokemon are gonna be stunning. I'm hoping so. I had a program running in my background the entire stream. I just realized I had left it on because I was like, oh, I'll wait. You know, I'm not gonna be streaming for a while. I might as well leave it running while I'm gone and stuff like that. But then it just, you know, I forgot to turn it off. Luckily, it didn't really cause too many issues, I don't think. Hopefully not too much buffering or anything like that, but we'll see. Hopefully it's better now. Alright. All right, so after Hamilton, that brings us to the end of the trip. I unfortunately, the only trains I could get were either 1 hour after the show ended, or like 3.5 hours after the show ended. There was like very few trains heading back my neck of the woods, and I had to grab the one that was like cutting it kind of close. Originally, the plan was after the show to go get pizza and then head off after that. But unfortunately, I was not able to get pizza because it was going to be cutting it close already. So what I planned on doing was just as soon as we get out of there, head over to grab my luggage, hit the train, head down to Penn Station, and then grab some food at Penn Station, head on the train back home. That was the plan. Unfortunately, what my friends heard was, let's meander our way to luggage and then to the train station. Maybe we'll grab some food along the way, and then we can kind of like explore around Penn Station, and then you can go to Penn Station. So I'm trying to like rush out of there because like I have an hour to get my luggage, get all the way down to Penn Station, get food, and then get on the train to leave. And I am like, okay, I have no time to dawdle. And one of my friends is like, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm going to just go to this Taco Bell. And then he ended up buying tacos while he was there, which like fair. Oh, dazzling. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, while I'm like, get tacos while you're there. That makes sense. But like, I have no time for this. So eventually I'm just like, I'm power walking to the subway station. I get there and it's only for some reason they only allow you to go down this stairs case, only allows you to go to the uptown section. So we go in, we're trying to find the way to get to downtown. Unfortunately, we had to exit out of the subway station, head back up, go like across the street and around like the block to go to another staircase down to the downtown trains. It was just so much extra effort and so much extra time, and I'm like stressing out the entire time, freaking out that I'm gonna like miss my train, or at the better case scenario, I'm gonna get to not gonna have time to get food, and I'm just gonna be hungry on the train for 4 hours until I can get home and eat. So I'm like stressing out, and like eventually I'm just like, okay guys, I gotta go. I can't wait for bathrooms and tacos and stuff. I just gotta go. So I was like, this was a blast. I'm sorry I'm being a little bit short right now. I'm just very stressed. I appreciate it and stuff. So I head off and say goodbye and stuff like that. And I'm rushing around. But I do finally get to. I finally get to the Penn Station exit. I freak out because I'm like trying to find where the train hall is for the long distance trains and stuff like that. I eventually find it. I went into the building, thought it was wrong because I saw a post office and was like, oh my god, I went to the post office instead of the train station. But then I was like, look at Google Maps and I was like, no, this is the train station. And then I look down past the post office section, and I'm like, oh, okay, so there's a post office in this train hall. I just walk past it, and I'm like, okay, I'm here.
Hi, I'm a customer service representative from Penn Station, Brancicusp. We hear that you have feedback about the design of our venue. Want to come here and say that to our faces? Huh?
Yeah, I would say make sure that there are signs immediately that say this is the train hall and not just a post office. That's my only complaint. But yeah, so got in there, did have enough time to grab some food, which was nice. Barely, but I did have enough time. I went to a bagel shop real quick and grabbed some bagels because bagels in New York are much better than bagels in Massachusetts. So grabbed some bagels. Then I went and grabbed a burger, which was way too expensive for how fine it was. But I got a burger, ended up getting it just as a minute after they said, your train is going to this track. Please start queuing for to board and stuff like that. So like I was like a minute late to start boarding and stuff like that. But like in that time, there were so many people going on this train. It was, and it was made clear to me why afterwards, but like, it was a Sunday evening train to Boston after a Red Sox Yankees baseball series. Of course, it was packed. So I'm trying to find a seat. Eventually, I find a seat where it's like 4 seats, 2 facing the other 2, and I literally have to go knee to knee with a complete and utter stranger while sitting next to another complete and utter stranger. And I'm just like, we're in this. I like meekly hold my little bag of food to eat my burger on the train because I didn't have time to sit down and eat it before I got on the train. It was just like it was like the end was a little bit stressful, but once I got on the train, about 10 minutes into the trip, the guy next to me ended up going and getting another seat with their family. So they moved, and then the person in front of me went diagonal to me and then left a couple train stops later. So like by the end of it, I had 4 seats to myself, but like yeah, it was it was a lot. I like that you pronounce bagel the correct way.
Hi.
Yeah, I'm from New
Ron
Jersey.
Secured from the Penn Station Department of Signs and Light Bulbs. Signs are expensive and you have both eyes and feet. I fail to see the problem here, partner. Click.
That does sound like a you kind of problem. Just getting more money, Fivehead. But yeah, it was good. It was a good trip overall. And then on the ride back, I called an Uber, and get in the car. I just throw in my headphones because I'm just like, I just want to listen to something. The train ride was like spotty internet the entire time, so I really couldn't listen to like any YouTube videos or anything like that. I had to like listen to like podcasts and stuff that I had pre-downloaded. So I was just like, I want to like scroll shorts. So I was like scrolling shorts, and then all of a sudden I hear my Uber driver start talking, and I'm like, what was that? And he's like, oh no, sorry. He was on the phone with someone. So he's on the phone for like most of the drive, and I'm fine with it. I got my headphones in. I don't give a shit. But yeah, so he finally like we're pulling in, and my driveway is like a U, and it has 2 entrances to the road. So he's like, as he's like speeding past the first one, he's like, is this it? And I was like, you could just go to the next one, it's fine. And he's like, oh, okay, next one, okay. And then he pulls in. I guess he thought that like it was just like a normal driveway. So he literally like pulls in, doesn't follow the curve of the driveway, just drives straight onto the grass. It just pulls in and then drives straight onto the grass. And I go, oh, okay, that's fine too, I guess. And he's like, what? Sorry, did I hit something? I was like, no, it just like the driveway curves. So he's like, so you're on the grass. He's like, oh, sorry about your grass. I'm like, it's fine, man. I just want to go to bed. I'm good. Just get me out of here. It's fine. I 5 stars tip him and all that stuff. Like, it doesn't matter in the end. It didn't do any damage. It was just very funny way to end off the trip. There are people who can pronounce bagel incorrectly. Yeah, a lot of people will say bagel, like Begel almost. So yeah, that is generally how people mispronounce it.
Hi, I'm BG from the Penn Station Department of Commuter Passes, Ethical Consumption, and Organ Transplants. You may have been transferred to this department in error. Please hold.
I say bagel. Dog how. Depending on accents, I suppose. I mean, there's like, I say water, which is like WADER instead of water, or wooder. How some people say it. Like people have different accents and stuff. It happens. There are people who say instead of saying crayon, say crane, like one syllable, or biagle. Kind of like gyat, but Yaggle. Alright. Go for another Eevee. Also, holy cow, 30 concurrent viewers. I genuinely don't know how these these streams get so many views. It's so crazy. No, I'm not leaving yet. Come on, muscle memory. Water. Water. Yeah, it's that New Jersey accent for you. Got water and coffee. A lot of awe sounds. I pronounce water like werter. I only do that on special occasions. There's 30 people here. Oh my god. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm from the Bermuda Triangle, don't you know? No, one guy from Pennsylvania who always says Jaws instead of Jaws. Interesting. I don't even know if that's a Pennsylvania thing. It's funny. I went to Delaware for college, and like, you know, New Jersey and Delaware, very, very similar accents for the most part. But one thing I noticed was just like one specific thing that like was like almost like a Delaware accent exclusive. It might have been Pennsylvania or Philadelphia inherited, but like whatever the case was, it was just like anyone who like grew up around where the college was, kind of did this one specific thing with their O's. And I can't even remember exactly how it was to replicate it, but like, it was almost like a little bit like. I'm trying to think. It was almost like instead of like the ah sound when you would sometimes use with an O, they'd still use the O sound, but it would like so like instead of like hot, they'd say hot or something like that. I don't know if that was it, but like it was something to do with the O vowel that was just like in very specific scenarios they would just use the wrong type of O, and it bothered me. I was like, what? Why is it just this one thing that's different? Is it just is it a regional thing? Is it just a you thing? Like a couple people just happen to do the same wrong version of O in these specific instances? Like it was so weird, and I started doing it myself accidentally a couple times. I was like, oh no, that nixing that in the bud right the hell now. I cannot do that. It was weird. I don't know. And like both of my two of the people that I went to, or actually all three of them that I went to New York with are my college buddies. Two of them were my freshman roommates, and one of them was like a good friend from like computer science classes and stuff like that. But like the two people I was roommates with, neither of them do it. I don't know, and they both grew up in Delaware, so like obviously it's not like a universal thing there, but like it was just weird. Baldur's goat. What am I doing? Just kind of wandering without a care, aren't I? Want to know why I did a victory screech when I finally came here? Sure, why not? I'm assuming you beat some sort of game or challenge in a game. Perhaps a Donkey Kong country, Frozen Country or whatever. Oh, speaking of Donkey Kong. Well, maybe not speaking of Donkey Kong, but it reminded me of this. I found out. Well, I knew about this, but I found out that this was still a thing. My work used to have this thing where if you like did some like good work or something like that, people in like management or like other people on the team could like give you. They were called. I think they were called like appreciate points or something like that. And basically these were like points for like, hey, you did a great job.
Hi, it's
Here's some points.
BG again from the Penn Station Department of Commuter Passes, Ethical Consumption, and that other thing. We don't have points available, but would you take a commuter pass?
I mean, considering I don't live in New York, no, I'd rather the points. But yeah, so they give out these points for like a job well done, and they like discontinued it like a year or two ago. So no longer a thing. And I thought I was like, I just didn't get in on it at all, and I couldn't take advantage of it because like apparently you could just like use those points to redeem. Or actually, here's what happened. First of all, I thought that I got in too late to like have any sort of actual pointage worth trying to use. Second of all, I thought it was only to be used at the like company store, so like used on like company merch and stuff like that, which I'm really not interested in. So never gave it a second thought. But the other day I was talking with my coworkers, and they were talking about it, and one of them mentioned getting like a space heater that looked like a fireplace from this thing, and I was like, what was that from? They were like, oh, from the point system. I had a bunch of points left over before they discontinued it, and I used them to get a space heater, and it worked really well. I was like, oh, you can get like anything there? And they were like, they were like, well, they had like a huge store of like items, and it wasn't like just work stuff, it was fun stuff. So I was like, oh, interesting. So what I did was I like went on the website and was like, I was just gonna like look at what they had, because like they did discontinue it, but I was like, but they said that the points didn't expire. So theoretically, they would still have to have the store open. So I went to go to the store, and like, first of all, they have a lot of fun stuff there, including I don't know what just happened there, choked on air. But they had like video games and stuff as well. They actually had like a full Nintendo Switch system if you really wanted it. But you had to like get like 30,000 points, and you weren't gonna get that. But like, really fun stuff. I found out I had 2,400 points, and I could get some really interesting stuff. So now I'm looking through. I looked through all of these things, and one of the things I could possibly get is like some like a video game, like Mario Maker 2 or the Luigi's Mansion 2 HD remaster. I could get a 1,000 Year Door remake on Switch. Like there were a decent number of games I could get there. I also am pondering getting a external hard drive because I'm running out of space for all of my recorded files, and I need to buy another one. And I kind of don't want to spend more money because I just went to New York City and spent a shit ton of money on a trip, and I'm going to be spending another shit ton of money on the Italy trip next month. So like, don't exactly have a ton of extra fun cash to be using on an external hard drive, but we'll see. But the reason I brought that up is because there were some games that I could possibly play, including, I think there was an older Donkey Kong one on Switch that I could get with those points. So I might be getting a new game to play on stream from these points that I got from work. My company gives away points to an internal store, but as gift cards, redeemed a $55 eBay gift card. Nice. Managed to use only King DD to solo Soul Melter EX on the ultimate choice for Kirby Star Allies. Nice. First try too. Let's go. Italy? I think Italy's gonna be awesome. I'm very excited for Italy. You gonna log out? All right. Have a good night, Luigi. Thank you so much for joining. All right, let's see. Which one should I go for? The other thing I could get is a new Pro controller, which might be nice considering this Joy-Con or this joystick drift. Just saying shit in Italy in close proximity. Oh, okay, I see. I have fond memories of the boot country. I've never been, which sucks because like I've never. Well, it's a shame that I've never been before, because I am half Italian and would love going there, and I'm going to go there, so I am rectifying it. But like, I'm excited. that's the main point here. Best time yet, even maybe about 23 minutes. Nice. I am still not convinced that there are actually 42 people here right now. Like, I am very excited to see these numbers, but like, I feel like these numbers might be wrong. I don't know what it is about specifically the PLA streams recently that have been getting these extra numbers, but like, not any extra comments. But like, whatever the case is, I'm not 100% convinced. It was in northern Italy during the Northern Italy earthquake of 2012. Dang. Brett and Link have a new video out where they spend 100 hours on a makeshift raft. Interesting. Kind of like almost like the Mythbusters with their duct tape episodes. There she is. Clock tower we stood under collapsed less than 24 hours later and killed 4. Jeez, that's terrible. Glad you made it out okay. Scary stuff. I've never been in a significant earthquake. I've only had a few earthquakes happen living on the East Coast. And they were always notable because, like, you know, we don't get them often. In the same way that, you know, snowstorms are notable for people in the South because it's outside the norm. But yeah, so I think the one I remember most was I was what the heck? Oh right, I already did that. But yeah, so I think it was actually in 2012. I was out of school for some sort of holiday or something like that, and ended up going out to like breakfast or lunch with my girlfriend at the time, and I remember being at I think we went with my brother as well. We all went to get lunch at like Perkins or something like that, and so we were eating, and all of a sudden the table started shaking a little bit, and my girlfriend was like, stop shaking the table, and I was like I'm not. And then we checked our phones a little bit later, and all of a sudden it was like, oh, that was an earthquake. It was very mild, all things considered. I think it was like a 3.5, and it was like down in Virginia or something like that. So like we barely got it literally was enough to like shake the table a bit. But it was funny that she was like, stop shaking the table. I was like, what? Ash, thank you so much for the dono. I really, really appreciate that. Let's get some hype in the chat for Ash. But yeah, that was probably my biggest experience with earthquakes. And it really wasn't that big. I want a Bergmite. You know what? Let's just do a Bergmite run. See if we can't find one. I was in Oklahoma for the fracking earthquakes. Feel like I'm in Final Destination when even a tiny earthquake happens. Yeah, the fracking earthquakes are nuts. Like, why don't we just... Not only are we going to try and get more of the liquid that is, like, cooking the planet and making it unlivable for us, but let's also start a bunch of earthquakes in the process of trying to get more of that liquid. like it's just nuts. Oh, and by the way, we're also going to inject a bunch of poison into the water supply in the process. Nuts. Nuts. Also, thank you so much for the 9 likes, everyone. I really appreciate it. Let's go here. Oh, boy. I can't believe we haven't gotten a single shiny today. Remember the time Paul challenged some Athena... Or sorry, Seth and Athena to fight only to end up completely destroyed by her? No, I didn't really watch the anime that late. I'm assuming that's anime references. I really only watched, like, parts of the first season and parts of Hoenn. And then, like, a couple of the Hoenn movies. And, like, 1 or 2 of the first couple movies. Like, I really didn't watch that much of the anime. Oil and gas, kind of the worst. A little bit. Obviously, at this point, it is still largely necessary to keep things running, but it would be nice to no longer have that be the case. Let's see if we can't get a perm poke. That'd be dope. Sorry about that, just saying. No, you're all good. I was just letting you know I'm not really familiar. And, you know, I feel like it's probably a fairly safe assumption to ask the person playing
I'm Jeff and
Pokemon
from
all
the
the time.
fracking oil and gas conglomerate. What if the earthquakes are a good thing? Think about that. Imagine if we said good things fracking did here. See?
I mean, Imagine Dragons. Yeah, maybe fracking is good. You're right. I'm being too negative. And also, yeah, I do not at all blame you for seeing the person playing Pokemon all the time on their YouTube channel, buying a bunch of Pokemon merch and stuff like that, and going, this person probably watched the Pokemon anime that was on all the time while they were growing up. Imagine Frackins. I know. Is that like Jenkins, the butler of fracking? You should watch the Diamond Pearl anime. Honestly, there's a lot of animes I should probably watch. I feel like I could do. Oh, maybe I do a. Wait, do I have Octillery? No, I got Remoraid, so I can evolve it into Octillery. I don't need Octillery. But yeah, so I feel like it could be interesting. I'd been meaning to start a podcast. Well, there were inklings of me starting a podcast with one of my buddies to like watch new animes and stuff like that, or watch shows that one of us probably hadn't seen. Never panned out, but like I feel like I could probably start I watch famous animes that I probably should have seen already, and that could include Pokemon. Could also include Naruto. Could include One Piece. I feel like I could get a long runtime out of doing that kind of thing, because like there's a lot of very famous animes I've just never seen. It's one of the best ones, minus anything Brock. Why was he even there? I mean, Brock is fun, but like I feel like by Diamond and Pearl, I feel like his shtick ran thin. If I had to guess. Lord who does. Darn it. No purple. Do I need any of these? No. Seems like you got a party going on or something. Love to see it. Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening. Oh, the pastures are nearly full. I should go clear those out. Thank you for letting me know, game. Chef, welcome to the stream, by the way. I'm not sure what's happening. I've had this happen a couple times in the past couple weeks. We have a crap ton of concurrent viewers, and if you are legitimately there and just lurking, truly appreciate it.
Hi.
Thank you.
I'm Brock from the Pewter Gym Department of Commuter
Give me a minute.
Passes, Poisonous Frogs, and Uncomfortable Pickup Lines. Ooh, Nurse Joy. Girl, you got a big, crow a gunk.
Indeed. But yeah, if y'all are truly all hanging out and lurking and stuff like that, very grateful. I am not 100% certain that you are. It has happened a couple times where I got up to like 60 concurrent viewers in was it the last PLA? I think it was the last PLA stream. I got up to like 60 concurrent viewers, and I genuinely, like, we had the same people chatting as usual. Like, you know, it was fun. We had a lot of we had a good time and all that stuff, and there were, like, you know, it wasn't like empty or anything like that, but like I have a little trouble believing that it's like, you know, the 50 people more than usual are coming in and all of them are just lurking. Oops, don't want to get rid of that one. Audio's good, but it's desynced from the game. Thank you. I'll fix it, hopefully. Someone took over his job and moving him away from the girls in a bit more of a painful way. Oh boy. That's every episode? Gotcha. Who would want to listen to my TTS messages without context? Seriously? Who wouldn't?
Sometimes you just gotta take the win. There's nothing suspicious about 50 extra viewers.
I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Maybe I just accept it. I forgot I had this like huge like last second rush of Shinies the other stream. All right, I will just accept it. Thank you everyone for joining, and I really appreciate it. And then the Eevee. Pride and Joy releases it. Much ado about nothing? About a girl? Diamond Pearl bottle dimension? What does that mean? Thank you so much for looking, Chef. I appreciate it. No. Okay, and then we got you and you and you and you and you, you, you and you and you. And extra variants. Got you. And you
I
and
smell
you.
bots. Somebody didn't wipe their bot very well.
Right. Bam, 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 bam. Wow, we only have one shiny needed on this entire page. Crazy. Oh, Battle Dimension, I see. Congrats on getting the shiny Eevee. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Barbooch. Boop-a-da-boop-a-da-boop-a-da-boop-a-da-boop. Mhm. Right. And those are shinies. Get that one. Get that one. And we release every single one of these. Grab the excess shinies. Damn. Love to see it. Love to see it. Perfect. Oh. Trying to lure the lurkers out of hiding. Anybody got Wonka Fun Dip I can put under a big propped up box? Demita K. Surya, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you coming in. Good to have you here. Just clearing out my boxes before some more shiny hunt. Hope you're doing well. Got to go to the max finale of for GoFest. Pretty great day one. Caught a shiny Zacian near the end. Day two, though, wasn't so hot. Did get to at least rank 60. Nice, nice. 47 episodes now? Yeah, we have a ton of people here. It's crazy. And 12 likes. I appreciate it. Is this the Switch 2 version? No, I am still on Switch 1 for this one. I heard one anecdotal horror story of someone losing their save file when transferring games over. And so I only transferred over the games that were I was less emotionally attached to the Switch 2. Didn't have any problems, so I could probably do it, but I switched over the like Zelda games and stuff like that for me. But I kept Pokemon on here just because I had like that little tiny inkling of like, what if I lose my file that has most of the shiny living decks completed in this game? So I just stuck with the Switch 1. Plus, it's already like downloaded on the physical device, so no point in switching over. The main reason I switched over the other games was, Devina, thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Hope you will enjoy yourself while you're here, and I hope to see you around more often. But yeah, so I transferred over like the Zelda games, especially because I didn't have enough storage on the Switch 1 to be able to play them on the physical device, and you know, if you're trying to play them on the SD card, you need to have a good SD port on your Switch for that to work well, and I don't. Thank you so much for lurking. I appreciate it. Chugga, oh no, Proto John Game, Tim, Arg. That's a Game Grumps thing, I'm gonna guess. Cool. Alright. It's crazy we still haven't gotten any shinies. Oh, you know what we could do to bait the lurks? I don't know. We could do a discussion about topic. We haven't had one of those in forever. Just give it a minute. Oops. Meant to go to the other one. Oh well.
If your arm could slap, what would it damage?
Funny enough, my arm can slap, so it can damage a whole bunch of stuff, including itself. Well, when we were doing while I was in the hotel in New York, we started for some reason arm wrestling, and I went and arm wrestled one of my buddies, and like we were quite evenly matched. I think that I probably would have prevailed long term, but for some reason, the angle that I had my arm at was making my shoulder hurt a ton. It was like pulling on my shoulder and like joint hurting, not like muscle hurting. So I was like, I wasn't gonna be able to reposition to like not have it hurt without like letting up on the arm wrestle to like and like immediately losing. So what I did was I like just really like I tried holding out until they gave up, and they were doing the same thing, so we were kind of just at a stalemate. And then so I started just trying to like pull inward and win, but it was like hurting my shoulder more and more to do that. So eventually I decided to just like go for like a one final push type of thing. And you know, I knew that if it failed, I was going to immediately lose right afterwards, but I had to do it because otherwise I was just gonna like start like, it felt like I was gonna like pop my shoulder out or something like that. It was like my shoulder was really hurting me. So I ended up losing because he was able to just barely hold on from me doing that final push. But like for some reason I hurt my shoulder while while arm wrestling. When we guys have their surprises and frustrations during the last play. Gotcha. Found out that my DM for my upcoming campaign is using the 2014 player handbook for D&D instead of the new 2024 one. Had picked a wild magic barbarian Goliath. Neither in 2014. Oof. Rough. I completely rewrote my character today. Oof. Yeah. I have a couple of ideas for characters that I really like. I need to like, you know, work on them and stuff. I need to find a venue to use them, but I really would like to do those types of characters. I really just need a venue to be able to do D&D. That's the problem. I would love to do a online playthrough. Because like I also have ideas of like ideas for actually multiple seasons, or multiple different like worlds and stuff like that I could like DM as well. So like I'm like down to like do some DMing, but I also want to be like a player, and it's I don't know, it's hard to plan those types of things. It takes so much logistics. I need to try and burn with my. Let me finish this line off. Shiny. Oh well. I'm a simple gold dwarf named Slate Glimstone, Path of Totem Warrior Barb. I'm not as familiar with the D&D like class setups and stuff like that. So, hearing the term Path of Totem Warrior Barb doesn't really click anything extra in my mind other than they're going to be a barbarian that like does warrior stuff. But my physical description starts with 4'2" and thickums. Now, the real question is, does Slate Glimstone have bazoomies? I think that whatever... Just broke myself. I think that no matter what, whenever I have a D&D character, they are going to have nice knockers. Gender doesn't matter. Character doesn't matter. They will always have nice boobs. If you played much Karlach, it's the Bear Eagle. Oh, okay, I see. That makes sense. I have done that enough to know what that means. I acknowledge that I know that, like, Baldur's Gate uses D&D rule sets and stuff like that, but, like, I feel like it would, if I were to go into, like, D&D and, like, actually make a character, I'd be surprised how much I was already familiar with. I don't know why it feels like a completely different thing when it's really not. He's got those muscle titties. There you go. Top moment during the first one came from Yoshi's Tropical Island, even though he won the board. Proto John had a misstep, causing a chain reaction of good and bad stuff. Gotcha. Alright, back to the Myrons. BG3 is just D&D with a few tweaks to rules/economy. Yeah. I have a really fun idea. I have a couple of really fun ideas for campaigns that I would love to run someday, and I'm not going to say them because I don't want to spoil them in case I do ever find a venue to be able to play D&D on stream with people. But, like, I have some fun ideas. It's going to be great if I ever get to do them. Chugga learns to run and returns. No idea what that means. Subclasses in BG3 cover a lot of the most common subclasses too. Gotcha. That's pretty cool. The more I learn about, like, D&D and stuff, the more I'm, like, impressed with BG3 for, like, just perfectly encapsulating all of it in, like, a video game that's, like, a completely different medium that should be way too limiting for accurately capturing D&D. That's why I thought I could use Wild Magic Bar, but it was technically added as official subclass in 2015 to 16. Gotcha. I can talk about one of my campaigns, campaign ideas, and that's because it's just like using the Kids on Brooms playbook, which is like the one that they used in Muggles and Magic for D20. I basically have come up with my own version of, like, parody Harry Potter and stuff like that. Some of which takes inspiration from that, some of which takes inspiration from Harry Potter itself, and some of which was just me coming up with stupid ideas that I really liked. So that is one of them, and then the other one I would probably use a regular D&D rule book for, but it would be much more like typical D&D setting, I think. They both survived the 100-second hero challenge. Nice. Good for that. But yeah, I need to figure out a group of creators that we can all create a D&D group together. That's what I want. I want to join a D&D group and make our own live play series. But that requires a lot of time commitment and coordination between a lot of different people. Save real quick. Almost 700 hours on this playthrough. My way. Did I get it? I think I got it. Let me go back, and if not, I'm gonna exit out and start over. That's definitely shiny, right? Yes! We got it. Hooray! Where's my other shiny basket going? Oh, is it in my pocket? Or in my party already? It is. Alright, that was the wrong one. I think. Where the heck is that? What the hell? What? I'm so confused. There it is. Okay. That makes more sense. 166. 168. Wow, I put it in the right spot too. Cool. Let's see. Let me update the counter. And then we'll save. Save. Beautiful. I want to start a D&D podcast called Campaign and Caviar. That sounds fun. What would be the premise? Do you have a favorite class to play? I mean, I've never technically played D&D before. In terms of like my favorite class that I did in Baldur's Gate, I don't know. I like both. I enjoyed doing the paladin stuff. I also really enjoyed playing as a bard when I did my first playthrough. I have another playthrough that I'm doing where I'm playing as a wizard, and that's pretty fun. I feel like I prefer to be more of a spellcaster than upfront. The best parts of Paladin for me were using Action Surge and using Divine Smites, because then I got to like do like more damage and like come up with like better strategies and stuff like that. So like I those were the things I enjoyed most about playing a paladin. So I would say that the spell casting aspect is probably my favorite, although I didn't enjoy as much that my bard kind of felt like, unless we were doing crowd control of a bunch of smaller enemies, I really wasn't able to pack as much of a punch as most of the other party members. That was the one downside of my bard, was like I was great if we were facing a bunch of like 30 HP enemies. I could take down like 6 at a time, but if we were fighting one big boss, I was doing like 20 damage a turn. So I would say my paladin, I think I probably had slightly, like, my peak of fun in paladin was higher. I think that was mostly due to me being more understanding of how to build a character at that point. And the best parts of it for me were spellcasting rather than, or like the spell aspect of it, rather than just the straight, hitting someone in the face type of thing. So I don't know that I have a favorite class yet. I think it probably will be something that has fun spellcasting. Bards are often better in support and as the face of the party. Yeah, that was the other thing was, like, I did a decent amount of the talking, but, like, I don't think I was the face of the party. So that was the other thing, was, like, I was a bard, I kind of fully fell in support. Which, it was fun to be able to, like, have those moments where I was able to, like, crowd control significantly. And I think I was, like, proud of, like, how quickly I was able to pick up on, you know, oh, this would be a good strategy. Oh, this is something, like I've always prided myself on, I may not be, like, the best at something, but, like, I'm pretty good at picking things up fast. So I think that my learning curve was faster than most people, and I was proud of, like, where I started to where I ended with my bard. But I think that in terms of the paladin, I was a lot more integral to, like, more battles, which I enjoyed. All right, I think this is gonna be my last one, and then we're gonna call it a night. Druid spellcasting is chef's kiss. I don't know. I didn't really find I didn't really find the druid that interesting, at least in Baldur's Gate. It's very possible that either I'm not thinking of the implications, or it just, you know, there's aspects of the druid that are more fun in a longer scale, less, you know, rigidly defined D&D campaign. I don't know. Wild shape per bunkin and goofball shenanigans. Fair enough, fair enough. Read my last comment. Sure. One LP that the Runaway guys did, interesting enough, was 100% orange juice. Similar Mario Party with RPG elementals. Cool. What was their top moment? I have no idea. Bard supremacy. Bards are fun. Bards are fun. Now, I know you're thinking, I just got a second masculine. Why am I doing this? Because there are gendered variants for this that are significant. Wow, that was a quick one. Also depends on subclasses for caster druids. Circle of the land is all spells all the time, but I think what Jahira and Halcyon default to the circle of the moon. Shapeshifting, gotcha. Yeah, I would need to do more research. I feel like I would enjoy something like, I would enjoy something that has good spell casting. Basically something that I could, like, come up with really interesting ways to solve problems. Like, when I was playing Echoes of Wisdom, the greatest joy that I got out of the game was, like, coming up with unique ways to beat the bosses and stuff like that, using just the echoes and not defaulting to just using Link's powers. And I really feel like that is, like, a big part of, like, fun in those types of situations is, okay, there's a puzzle, how do I solve it in an interesting way that's, like, fun and memorable? So I think that having access to spells and stuff like that gives you more of that ability. We're involved in a chicken incident. They made fried chicken. My family's gonna do a D&D campaign for level 10 to 20, but we're all video game characters. Oh, that's very fun. You picked Sora Outlet. Let's go. All right. So with that, I think we are going to call it an end to the night. I do have work in the morning, unfortunately. And I'm not working from home tomorrow because I worked from home today. So I do have to head off. But thank you so much for joining, everyone. I really, really appreciate it. Every single one of you. Oh, 47 of you. Crazy, crazy numbers. I really, really appreciate that. I hope that you had a good time. If you did, and if you've not yet liked the stream and subscribed to the channel, consider doing so you can catch more of these in the future. Regardless, though, let us... Oh, Minx is playing Violet. Let's raid Minx. We're gonna go read Minx.
Wait, I gotta go.
All right, with a hashtag
Oh,
Ectric.
thank God. I'm so sorry. You naughty,
Gotta show
naughty
some love
boy.
to someone
Say
doing
sorry.
Pokemon, so. I hope to see you over there. I
If
hope you have a
you're-
wonderful,
if you can't guess
wonderful
what
rest of your
happened,
night. And until the next stream, which should be tomorrow,
Kick it.
have a great one.
Ectric.
Bye.